It must have been a biking injury. Oh, the ridiculous theories that we come up with to try to justify chronic pelvic pain. I tell you, when I started having pelvic pain symptoms, I went to the doctors and they had no idea what was going on, and I went to specialists and neurologists and physical therapists, and I mentioned to them that the main physical activity I was doing at the time was cycling, indoor cycling, and immediately they latched onto it. Yes, it must be that. You're probably hitting your perineum really hard on the seat, it's causing damage to the tissues, and that's what's causing this. You have to stop biking immediately, get rid of the bike. In fact, one doctor said, sell that bike immediately. I tell you, we develop these cognitive biases, right? We have some sort of a theory that's through our lens or our perspective of life, a theory on what's happening, and then we try to pick apart information and insert that information to justify the theory. So that was what I accepted. My cognitive bias at the time and for years was, this must have been a biking injury. And then I started having all of these limiting beliefs, things like, man, what is wrong with me? I can't even do an indoor cycling bike correctly. Why did this happen to me? Why do I deserve this? What did I do to deserve this? I must be so dumb. And you just start going down that rabbit hole and having thoughts that are just not supportive at all. And then after time went on and on and on, an interesting thing happened. I refused to sell that bike because I always believed that I would get better. And I started thinking about it. My best friend is actually a professional triathlete, and he bikes thousands and thousands and thousands of miles with no issue. So if someone can bike thousands and thousands and thousands of miles with no issue, how is it that little old me that does 2 or maybe 3 Peloton classes for 30 to 45 minutes a class per week is going to damage themselves? It doesn't make any sense. So once I started to zoom out and I started to break apart that theory, and I started to not accept that theory anymore, and I realized that chronic pelvic pain, it really needs to be addressed in a different way. Once I started to realize the root cause of this condition, which once I realized that, I no longer accepted the bike injury theory. And check out what's happening today. It's 3 years later. I still have that bike. I ride it regularly and I have no issues. I'm back on that bike. So if you're coming up with theories, or if you have biases, or if doctors are saying this is what happened and that's what happened, be very careful before you start accepting that, because then you can start really formulating your entire life and the actions that you take based on those biases. Sometimes we have to zoom out and really just think critically, does this make any sense? Did I have an injury? No, nothing happened to me on the bike. Why would I be in pain for 2 years off riding a stationary bike? It makes absolutely no sense.